Okay, question number 12 in section 2.1 of the MathLinks 8 book. It says, in a class of 32 students, there are 24 girls. So just reading the first sentence, in a class of 32 students, we know there's 32 students, and that 24 of them are girls. Now, without even reading the question, I could probably figure out that there's going to be 12 boys, and I'm just going to put that information down. So that's all the information I have. And then I read the first question. It says, what is the boys to total students ratio? Well, it's a good thing I put this. A good thing I put 12 boys, because now I could just put boys to total. It's always good to put your words first. 12 to 32. And that would be the ratio of boys to girls. Now it says to express the ratio as a fraction, which there it is there, and as a percent. Well, when I look at 12 over 32, I'm trying to think, okay, how can I get that down to a number that I can create an equivalent fraction as a percent? And I know that my denominators, if I get it to 2 or to 4 or to 5 or to 8 or to 10 or to 20 or to 25 or to 50, those denominators there, if I can get an equivalent fraction with one of those denominators, then I can take the next step and make a percentage out of them. So I'm looking at this, and I see that both of these have 4 as a factor. So I'm going to take out 4 and see what happens. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 4. And I know that 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 32 divided by 4 is 8. And as you can see, that's one of my denominators that I can make a fraction or a percentage out of, without needing a calculator. Because if I multiply this by 125 and this by 125, I get 375 out of 1,000. I now have a fraction that can be read as 375 thousandths. And when I say it, and since I know my place value, I know that's 375 thousandths. But as a percentage, I can simply divide top and bottom by 10. I get 37.5 out of 100, which is 37.5%. That's for A. The second part says, and I'll just change the page here, if I can get by this thing. The second part says, what is the girls to boys ratio? Well, again, we have girls to boys. So I'm going to write that again as girls to boys. I'm going to write my word form first, and then I'm going to know it's 24 girls to 12 boys. Now, keep in mind, this is a part-to-part ratio. This is not a part to whole because we got girls to boys, not girls to the class or boys to the class. So this ratio here cannot express a percent, right? We can't make that into percent, and if we did, it'd be 200%. And 200% of the class is girls or 200% of the class is boys does not make sense. So we're not going to think of that as being a percent. We're going to use ratio notation, which is best used like this. When we're dealing with part to part, that's the best notation to use. And it says express to express the ratio. Now, if I wanted to reduce that, I might notice that both first and second term contain 12 as a factor. So I can reduce that ratio to 2 to 1. And if I go back to my original ratio, that means for every 2 girls in the class, there is 1 boy. I'll bet you most of the boys in my class would love to be in that class. Hunter, I'm sure he would. And that's the answer to question 12.